So
right, but were you able to make a living and live off of what you were doing on the 10 albums? Oh, I guess you had live performing and you had that.
No, I mean, it wasn't nothing. I mean, it was it was enough to live off of, but I certainly, didn't I wasn't rich. I wasn't making a lot of money. There was a brief window of time, like in the mid 90s, where I actually had a good record deal and people were still buying records. And there's all like, I made most of my money like between 1996 and 1998, I think.
Right. And right now it's a problem. I don't really understand the music business that much, but at the time or those times, people were buying records and you can make money in buying records. And now people are, and you seem to have pivoted to digital. So they can stream and download. Is that lucrative?
Well, it's mostly. I mean, to this day I make most of my money through touring and merchandise. I mean, I make some money from recordings, but streaming is very little. You hear about people like, oh, I had 5 billion streams, I made $300.
Right.
It's not it's not nothing, but it's not what it should be.
And do you continue to listen to? I don't know how you find, like, when you used to parody, like Beat It was like it was everywhere, and that was, everybody knew that was the hit. Right. I find that now with Spotify and things like that, you have your own. You can be very compartmentalized.
Yeah, exactly.
Where I don't know what top 40 is anymore.
Well, that's one of my other big problems now. I mean, back in the 80s, there was more of a monoculture. Like, everybody watched MTV, everybody knew what the hits were. A lot of the radio stations are playing the same thing. And now, there's all these options. So if you're into a very specific subgenre of music, you can listen to that satellite radio channel, or just laser focus on whatever you really, really like, which is good in a way, but also, I miss the day of top 40 radio when you could listen to a channel and be exposed to country and R&B and rock and, everything. And I think it, made us as a culture a bit more well-rounded. And I kind of miss those days.
And it makes it harder for you to kind of choose something that's going to, but though there are things that rise to the top.
Of course.
Like, I can't imagine what an Al Yankovic parody of Wet Ass Pussy would be.
That'd be better as a polka, maybe. We'll see.
Yeah.
That's actually done. But it should just, but there are things that do rise to the top. Are you still writing? Are you still releasing?
Not as much. Yeah, a bit. I mean, I haven't really done any straight up parodies for a while, but I've done some original songs. There's a new original song in the movie. And every now and then. So I haven't been super prolific since my last album came out. I've been, working on the movie, working on various other projects and touring a lot. So I haven't stopped doing it, but I've just slowed down.
And do you like doing original songs that you write as equally, or do you like that better than having to do a parody? Is there more?
I like them both. I mean, they're two different mindsets. And doing the parodies is not as much work because you don't have to write the music, obviously, but there's sort of more pressure because people really attach a lot of importance to like a new Weird Al parody. So it's a bit of a trade-off, but lately I've been writing more originals just because I get asked to do various projects. Like John Oliver asked me to write a song for North Korea to ask them not to bomb us.
Right.
So I did that, and Lin-Manuel Miranda had me do the Hamilton polka.
Yeah.
So I've done a few projects here and there, but I've got a lot of time after this next tour, so maybe I'll figure out something new.
But these guys are calling you and asking you to do things. You went from like the fringe to you are like mainstream, and that's amazing. And not only that, and relevant at this point after all these years. It's been over 40 years also for you.
Yeah, it's kind of strange for me to be considered part of the mainstream because I started out as such an outsider, like this punk kid, like making fun of all the people in the inner circle. You're
the inner circle.
And now I'm going to the same parties and the award shows, and I'm like rubbing elbows with the people I'm making fun of. So it's a little
better
bit of a
than
different
shaking
dynamic.
hands.
Yeah. Of course.
Does your kid want to do this?
No.